Hello everybody, welcome back to the chalkboard. I am Joey Eitz with bloggingtheboys.com. We're going to take a look here at some variations of the read option. We've looked at the read option a couple of times here. A lot of people have talked about it across a lot of different venues and media outlets and things like that. Before we talked about just the regular read option where we read the end man on the line of scrimmage and it's a give or a keep by the quarterback. Today I want to look at a couple of variations of things that I've seen on tape from teams doing in the NFL, things that I've talked to coaches about at the high school and college level that they're doing that I think might be kind of the next step for what these teams try to do with this read option stuff. And I also want to talk about some of the play action options and stuff like that that this provides you that can really put defenses in a bind. And some of these ways are going to be things that maybe we might see Dallas do this year to take advantage of the threat of DeMarco Murray running the ball, as well as some of the weapons we have on the outside and with the tight ends and everything like that. So here I've got our offense lined up in base personnel, 21 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers, against the defense in base personnel in a 4-3 over front. Will linebacker follows the 3 technique defensive tackle like we've talked about before in a 2 high safety look here on defense. So as you see, I've got this 3 technique defensive tackle here in red as opposed to black like the rest of my guys. I did that specifically to highlight that this is the guy that we're going to read on this first variation of the read option that we're talking about. This is called the midline option. So what this does is rather than leaving this end man on the line of scrimmage unblocked, we're going to leave this defensive tackle unblocked, and we're going to read him. So we've got a blocking scheme here where this guy goes up to the second level, these guys get to the second level on their linebackers and on their guys, and we end up here with all of these guys in the front blocked, and this guy comes through here unblocked. So teams already use this type of blocking scheme where they leave this tackle unblocked or this one technique unblocked whenever they run a trap play. So maybe they pull this guard around and he blocks and the running back cuts off of his back. But so what that means is that when this guy comes through here, when this defensive tackle comes through, he's going to be looking for somebody to come block him from his essentially in his ear hole. So he's going to be looking for a guy to come over, block half of his body and knock him out of the hole. So he's going to be a little bit tentative likely as he comes through this hole. So we got the quarterback that opens up to this closed side of the formation. Running back comes here, and the running play for the running back is back this way. The running play for the quarterback is through the hole here. So essentially it's the same thing that we read with the defensive end. If the tackle comes down and chases the run play, quarterback keeps. If the tackle goes up the field and tries to get to the quarterback or tries to block the quarterback's path, the handoff goes off here. We've got it blocked on the open side over here for a potential big play in the running game. It's really simple if you think about it just as moving the guy that you're reading inside one guy. So it's really not that ultra complicated. All we're doing is reading this inside guy, and then you can do all kinds of things with the trap blocking and things like that. You can either lead this guy here through this hole, or you can have him come around and arc block to try to lead for the quarterback. You can do all kinds of things with this guy, your F here, but it's the mesh point here, reading the defensive tackle, and then you just make the handoff of him and make him wrong almost no matter what he does. So that's the midline option. Give me just a moment here as I race and get kind of started for our next variation on the read option. One of the things that people have said throughout the course of the offseason, there's been big media guys that have said it, there have been fans that have said it, is that this read option thing's not going to last. It's going to be a fad and a trend, and it's going to go away because some quarterback's going to get hurt and things like that. And I think that there might be a little truth to that as far as a quarterback getting hurt and a particular team taking it out of the playbook. But I think as long as teams make it a part of what they do instead of trying to make it all of what they do, then they've got an opportunity to be successful with it, and to be successful with it long term. So here I'm going to draw up a little bit different set here. We're still going to be in a pistol, but we're going to have a slot receiver over here It can be a slot receiver, it can be a kind of a cop back, a change of pace back over here. And the way that a lot of defenses will counter that, specifically a defense like Monty Kiffin's, is they'll just walk this Sam linebacker out here over this guy, especially if they're going to play a zone coverage. They don't necessarily feel the need to match up with it with a nickel back. So we're here and we've got the same set here as we've had before, still in the pistol formation. The variation we're going to talk about now is the inverted veer. Essentially, before we've talked about the quarterback either giving the ball off on a dive or an inside zone play up the middle, or keeping the ball and running around the corner. What this is going to do is it's going to flip that. So you can run it this way, with where you've got a guy coming in motion across here, the ball snapped, and then the mesh point happens here, or you can have it where you've got your running back, rather than being in the pistol, you're in your base shotgun and you've got a running back over here, and so he's going to come across and execute that mesh point here. So it's the same read that you have on all of your other zone read plays. You're going to block here, you're going to come here, you're going to leave this guy unblocked. So now if he jumps up to the top, now the quarterback keeps underneath him, and if he dives down to stop the dive by the quarterback, then the running back gets the ball and goes around the corner. This is a play that San Francisco put in towards the end of the year last year, once Colin Kaepernick was kind of starting to really catch on with this read option stuff, and they were really starting to have success with it. They implemented this play, this variation of it, to invert it and kind of mess with the defensive end's read. So as defensive ends get more used to seeing the mesh point, things like that, they're going to get better at defending it. But the more things that the offenses can throw at them, the more difficult it's going to be for them to adapt. So by inverting this here, it kind of messes with this defensive end, because if he's taught to always take the quarterback, he's going to come in here and attack this, and the ball's going to go around the corner on him. Or if he's taught to always go upfield, the quarterback's going to come up underneath him. It's going to be a little bit different look than what these guys over here are used to seeing in regards to the read option. This is something that's been run on the college level a lot. This is probably a version of this play that if Chip Kelly is running a zone read kind of offense, or he does put it in, he's got Mike Vick back there running the offense, this is probably something that we'll see from them. It's something that he did quite a bit at Oregon. So these are the two kind of running variations that I wanted to talk about, the midline option and then the inverted veer. So now we're going to get back to our normal pistol set here with our far formation, with our strong side to the right. And we're going to talk about the play action opportunities that this provides an offense as they look to execute their plays against the defense and take advantage of some of the things that this read option thing can do. We had a fan post here on bloggingtheboys.com by Texas 510, relative new guy, got some recognition this week. Congratulations on that. And he talked about ways that the read option can be a part of what the Cowboys are doing on offense this year. And I think that he may be onto something with this part of it. The play action aspect of this is where you then move the guy you're reading. You're no longer reading a defensive lineman. You're now reading a linebacker or a defensive back when you're in the mesh point as to whether you're going to give the ball to the running back or you're going to keep the ball, pull it out, and make a throw to somebody running a different route out in the field. The easiest and probably most implemented, at least at the college level, of this type of play is what's called a stick draw. So you've got essentially two plays going on at once. You've got a stick route, like we talked about before in our stick combination. You've got a stick route by your tight end, and then you've got a read play over here. So it's either going to be a stick throw or a handoff here. So the guy you're reading becomes this will linebacker here. If he sees the mesh point happen and he drives into the hole to try to be a player in the run game, or he tries to scrape exchange around the outside on that technique for that defense there, that this spot right here is going to be wide open, and it's going to be an easy 6 or 7 yard gain. This guy makes a guy miss. It turns into a big play. There's a really easy completion. This is the kind of stuff that Robert Griffin III was doing a lot this year, really taking advantage of this area of the field here as the defense reacts to the read option look. So that's the stick route by the tight end. So the next thing we're going to look at is the possibility of using something from a guy on the outside, using a wide receiver to then take advantage of the play action and see how you can attack this defense using this guy out here, this flanker out here on this end, to get into this area and really attack this belly of this defense as everybody reacts to the read option look. So really the easiest way you can do it is just have this guy run a slant route. So it's going to get him there quick, same read as you had with the stick route, because you notice he's in the same area. He's in this same box of the defense, and he's there almost as fast as this tight end is. So he's here on the slant route. Everybody blocks just like they would on the read option play. Then the quarterback has the opportunity to read this weak side linebacker. If he becomes a part of the run front, the ball goes behind him. If he becomes a part of the pass play, if he drops to try to cover, or if he widens out to try to cover, the ball goes in here underneath, and it's a handoff here with numbers advantage on the front side of the run play. So that's how you can kind of attack it in maybe a short yardage type situation, a 3rd and 2 or 3, stick the ball in the belly of the running back, get the linebackers coming forward because they got to get the stop on 3rd down, throw it right behind them, right over their head where they just were. It's going to be a really efficient throw. Robert Griffin III made a lot of plays on this throw last year, and I think that this is something that, I mean, why couldn't this be DeMarco Murray and this be Des Bryant? Because if this is Des Bryant, he's going to beat this corner on the slant, and he's going to get into this area, and he's got the opportunity to make these guys at the 3rd level miss and turn it into a really big play on what was a really, really easy throw for Tony Romo. So we're going to talk about one more way that we can attack this defense through these read option kind of play action looks, and we're going to do it by now attacking this safety as opposed to attacking this will linebacker. You'll hear Matt Bowen, a former NFL safety, talk all the time about how the #1 reason why defensive backs at the NFL level get beat is bad eye discipline. What he means by that is on every single play, this strong safety, this free safety, these defensive backs, they all have a key that they're supposed to look for depending on what defense they're in. They're supposed to read that key only, and that will tell them if it's a run play or a pass play. But with these read option teams, it's got these guys looking in the backfield so much. They're so concerned about whether this guy's going to keep around the corner and I've got to help support in the alley, or he's going to hand the ball off and I've got to come here and support the cutback lane, that kind of stuff going on, that it's got their eye discipline all messed up. So what you can do is you set this mesh point here, just like we had before, and instead of running the stick route here, now you run a seam route. And if you catch this guy with his eyes in the backfield watching this, he's going to be coming forward, not paying any attention to this tight end. You're going to be able to get the tight end behind him, hit him at 15 or 20 yards depth, and he's going to have nobody anywhere near him to be able to make a tackle, and it's going to be a really big play. As Matt Bowen has described this kind of situation, it's like 2 trains passing in the night. They don't even realize that each other's going by. As one train goes by one way, the other train goes by the other way. Ball goes over the safety's head, and it's going to be a big play. So that's one way that I think we can attack the safety situation. But what happens if this defense then goes to an 8-man box? What if you're playing the Seattle Seahawks and Cam Chancellor's right here in the box, right next to their will linebacker? And now we've got Earl Thomas over the top here. So what you've really got to do here in this situation is I think the seam route is still the same route to go from a play action perspective here. And then I think maybe you run the slant route here on this backside. So then the idea becomes that you know this guy's got to react to this run look on the front side. So then you're able to really read this free safety and take a look at him and say, okay, is he coming down here to support on the slant? Is he getting depth and maybe coming over here as he tries to stay on top of the seam route? And then whatever he does, you make it a bad decision. If he comes over here to stay on top of the seam route like he's probably taught to do, then you move from this read over here, you check and make sure that this area is open like it should be, and and you make the throw on the slant. It's an easy completion, and it's probably turning into a first down for you. So, I mean, I've drawn up 3 or 4 different ways very, very quickly that you can use play action off of this read option stuff in order to really create opportunities for your offense to be successful. I think that this is the kind of thing that Tony Romo could implement or that Tony Romo could execute, in the read option without really exposing him to a lot of injury risk by getting him out trying to run around the corner or something like that. It allows the defense to be in bad positions no matter what you're doing, because now it becomes not about run or keep or give or keep. It becomes give or throw, and so it immediately becomes more dangerous because the ball has the opportunity to go down the field. And these are still very efficient throws. This is only a 15 or 18 yard throw here to this guy. It's a throw here at 6 to 8 here, or a throw here at 6 to 8, or 6 to 8 here. So it's really efficient throws that they're all inside the numbers. They're inside the numbers towards the hashes here on the field. So they're efficient throws. They're West Coast offense kind of throws, real quick, easy throws, make a catch, get down the field, get a first down. So there are things that I think that we might see Bill Callahan taking advantage of, especially like we talked about. We may see the Cowboys in some pistol looks this year just to take advantage of the space it gives Romo and the downhill running game that lets you have. So thanks for coming back to the chalkboard today. We hope you learned a little bit, and we hope that if you have questions, you'll hit us in the comments section. Come check us out at bloggingtheboys.com if you're watching us on YouTube today. And just let us know what you think, give us ideas, talk about how to stop this kind of stuff. We're going to get into a lot of this kind of discussion over the next few days and weeks here as we get training camp rolled up and we get ready to go. So just let us know what you want to hear about, what you want to learn, and we'll try to get everything rolling for you so we can really get into this season and hopefully see great things from the Cowboys in 2013.